This is Adam at Trump Nation. Well, the tweeted video speaks for itself. Here it is right now. You know, you've probably heard about the issue with Trump and the KKK and the Anti-Defamation League, which is a horrendous organization. I call it the Defamation League for a reason. It was run for decades by a guy named Abraham Foxman, who I refer to as the Chazer. Just a horrible guy collecting $700,000, pretending to be fighting anti-Semitism while basically being a liberal front group. Every once in a while, they would actually do some work. Attacked Glenn Beck, basically fired someone for saying the Armenian genocide happened. A horrible organization that is now run by a former Obama operative, which should tell you a lot right there. The fact that this is even coming up as a result of the Anti-Defamation League, the so-called liberals of Jewish descent there, horrible people. There's a reason real Jews don't participate in the ADL. I mean, not real Jews by the blood of a Jewish mother, by being born to a Jewish mother, but people who actually practice the Sabbath, kosher, and go to synagogue, Orthodox synagogues, as I do, by the way, so I can say this stuff. So anyhow, this was brought up by them. I've talked enough, especially for like a 14-second tweet. Watch it, then I'll come right back.
Mr. Trump, how do you feel about the recent endorsement from David Duke?
I didn't even know he endorsed me. David Duke endorsed me? Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay?
And here you can see what Trump is actually referring to. There was an interaction a few days ago regarding David Duke. You can see it for yourself here. I've made sure the CNN logo doesn't occur. I don't want to have any copyright issues here. And interestingly, it's by Jake Tapper, talking about the Anti-Defamation League as if it's not a complete joke. It's a horrible organization. It's a horrendous organization. I know the people who are in the Philadelphia chapter, big-time liberals, big-time lawyers, the kind of Jews, you know what I'm talking about. You won't see them in synagogue on a Saturday, let's put it that way. I feel like I'm being like Michael Savage here. But Jake Tapper, for the record, is not actually Jewish, but I think he fits in the category of so-called liberals of Jewish descent. I didn't know he was from the Philadelphia area like I am. He managed to lose his accent better than I did. But his mother converted to Judaism, but that was not a real conversion. It was like a conservative or reform conversion. So he's not actually Jewish. I don't mean to obsess about this, but it's a real pet peeve of mine when it's the Jews doing the dirty work and calling people members of the KKK or promoting this issue. And it's happening here. And by the way, I want to add something that Jake Tapper got his foot in the door through one of the worst Jews. I know all about her reputation in the Philadelphia area. Marjorie Margolis Mezvinsky, the mother-in-law of Chelsea Hubble Mezvinsky. I knew all about her many years ago. Just a total schemer. The father was her ex-husband. I think ex-husband was in jail many years. There's a reason anti-Semitism exists sometimes. I can't dwell on this enough. I didn't mean to make it about this, but those Jewish liberals frustrate me so much. Okay, now you can watch, with that in mind, this Jake Tapper segment with Trump, where they're obviously trying to nail him in a way they would never ask questions of Democrats about people like William Fulbright, who was Bill Clinton's mentor, who was a total segregationist, and some of the other Arkansas people who helped enable Bill Clinton. Not to mention Robert Byrd, the senator for many decades, who was actually a member of the KKK. Double standard? Nah. All right, decide for yourself there.
I want to ask you about the Anti-Defamation League, which this week called on you to publicly condemn, unequivocally, the racism of former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke, who recently said that voting against you at this point would be treason to your heritage. Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
Well, just so you understand, I don't know anything about David Duke, okay? I don't know anything about what you're even talking about with white supremacy or white supremacists. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, did he endorse me or what's going on? Because, I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about.
But I guess the question from the Anti-Defamation League is, even if you don't know about their endorsement, there are these groups and individuals endorsing you. Would you just say unequivocally you condemn them and you don't want their support?
Well, I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them, and certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. But you may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups, and I'll let you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm just talking about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan here, but...
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know David Duke. I don't believe I've ever met him. I'm pretty sure I didn't meet him, and I just don't know anything about him.
And of course, the media is now having a field day with us. Never mind the fact that Trump, hours ago, it's Sunday right now, this morning, unequivocally disavowed David Duke when he had a new idea what he was talking about when he wasn't being ambushed. Yet, you know, you still see up there on Mediaite today, that's Dan Abrams' channel. I don't even know if he's liberal. I think he's Jewish. Father certainly is. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going there with this one. But he has something out. Trump repeatedly refuses to disavow endorsement from ex-KKK leader on CNN. By the way, no one ever asks Democrats to do this stuff. Like, how many Black Lives Matter? I mean, Hillary and Bernie are groveling to Black Lives Matter, not disavowing every endorsement from a Black Lives Matter leader. And you know what? The Black Lives Matter believing people kill a lot more people than the KKK ever has. I'll just point that out. But it's such a double standard, and Trump shouldn't, in my opinion, even disavow it on principle, the fact that the Democrats shouldn't. But he did, and you saw that earlier in this. But, you know, Josh Feldman, there we go again, has this still up there. And, you know, they haven't done an update with the current thing. It's still up there as it was. They're trying to smear him. This is exactly what we expect. CNN has up there, Donald Trump stumbles on David Duke KKK. And by the way, what's more egregious is the email. I expect this crap from the Democrats, but from the rhinos, I get this GOP insider brief email with nothing original really in there, but their top headline, this was just 2 hours ago, 2:19 p.m. Eastern Time, CNN, Trump won't disavow David Duke KKK endorsement. This is how smears occur. You know, you want to debate the merits, you want to have a real debate and really look at them, that's fine. You want to look at what they said at the debate, but I don't like these smears. I don't like what they're doing to Donald Trump. This is wrong, and I really resent Jewish liberals being involved in this. I am biased that way, but hey, I'm a Jew. I can say these things.